Welcome to Pound for Pound ATL, arguably the best place to get facts and opinions on your Atlanta Falcons. And absolutely the best place to get your opinions in. The conversation starts now.
What's going on, football fans? Hey, man, this Toby D up over here. And as you can see, I got my guy JR right there next with me, man. I wish he would next to me. You know, we only did that one video with the Senior Bowl. But, hey, those times will come. JR, what's going on, man?
Man, what's going on, brother? It is, as y'all have probably seen all over y'all's social medias and things like that, it is 2/22/22 Tuesday. So I wore my bow tie. I couldn't find my other tie, but, you know, my daughter brought it to my attention this morning before she went off to school. And I was like, yeah, there you go. It is. And then, of course, you know, you had the social media team of the Falcons putting out a, you know, all Matt Ryan picture with all the twos on there. So that was cool. It was a good little chuckle, make you laugh or whatnot. But, man, we are hip deep, dead up into the off season, like full on, like full bore. All the games are behind us. The Senior Bowls are behind us. The HBCU Legacy Bowl is behind us. I don't know if you got a chance to catch that or not. That was a pretty decent game to watch. There might be some players there that are worth taking a look at. But yeah, man, we were like full on it. I hope that some of y'all are starting to catch some of this off-season content me and Toby are putting out. We sat down and had a real good chat with Sean McAvoy, the quarterback coach of Malik Willis. Yep. If that doesn't pique your interest enough, he also coached Justin Fields and Trey Lance. So, like, if you want to get some real good takes on that kind of stuff, that's a video that normally I don't pump up our past videos in a sense. Like, once they're out, and I just kind of let it roll. But, like, that's a video that I would love everybody to sit down and watch.
Yeah.
Not for the views, not for any kind of algorithmic type thing, but for literally the information that was given, you know, in that video. That was a real good video, and I encourage you all to go back and watch that. You know, and then we did a video with our buddy from the far up north. Damsky decided to grace us with his presence and talk some free agent pass rushers. So just because we're having a stream every other Tuesday don't mean that we ain't coming at you with, you know, content. And, you know, so I really hope if y'all hadn't had a chance to check that stuff out, those were two real good videos. And we got another one coming up, probably going to come out on either Friday or Saturday, sitting down with a scout from Pro Football Network, Ian Cummings. We're going to sit down with him and have a real good, you know, conversation. He's had some pretty interesting takes that I want to dig into a little bit more. So that should be a real good show. But like I said, that one will come out on Thursday or Friday. But yeah, man, it's been kind of quiet right now, but that's kind of what you expect at this moment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're about a week and a half out from the combine.
Yep.
Is that about right?
Next week, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it's next week.
Next week. Yeah. The 3rd through the 6th, but guys get there, I think, on March 1st. Right. I think to do, medical exams and
all that good stuff
and all that stuff and measurements and stuff like that.
Yeah, they the NFL, people will view it as the NFL trying to flex its muscle, and some people will view it as the players actually scoring a win. I'm a little bit jaded when it comes to maneuvers like what just happened with the combine, so I view it a little bit differently. Like, this is going to be a weird analogy for some of y'all, so y'all just bear with me. I spent a lot of time growing up playing video games, like all the way up through my, probably up until my 30s, right? And a maneuver that video game companies tried to use is they would push something out in a video game that just made the community mad and irate, and then act like they were doing you a favor by pulling it back. Okay? And I feel like that's exactly what the NFL did with its combine stuff. They pushed out that whole deal with the COVID bubble. They ain't care about COVID when it comes to the Super Bowl. And when I say that, I ain't talking about like they still required everybody to be vaccinated and all this other stuff. But on that run up to the Super Bowl, you didn't hear nothing about COVID. Like nothing. Okay? And all of a sudden, you're going to have a COVID bubble at Indy. For what reason? Well, for me, it sounded like a big, gigantic CYA. Like, we ain't trying to get, sued and or whatever. So we're going to put forth these crazy, extreme measures, have everybody freak out over them. And they did for, a day and a half?
Yeah, it wasn't long.
And then 2 days later, they pretty much retract the whole thing. So you know what that tells me? They wasn't serious about it to begin with. They just trying to make it look like they doing something. And maybe it's because by trade I'm a construction worker. And I go, like that seems like the same thing that OSHA does all the time. We're going to overreact and then pull it back so you'll calm down. Yeah. So I kind of chuckled with that. You got like how did that whole thing strike you? Because that just made me chuckle.
You know what was funny to me, and I was saying even before we got on the show, is what Jim Nagy did during the Senior Bowl time. He basically regulated that whole thing, and the NFL didn't have a say in how it was going down. And they were upset about that. You remember when we was in the press box, there was people talking about how Jim Nagy's running things over there now with the Senior Bowl and putting it together. And he helped them players realize how much power they really have. Yep. And a lot of that, I agree with what you said too, and I also throw on to that NFL may have taken that a kind of way and tried to regulate the whole combine situation, but saw that was not going to work because look, they need the players just as much as the players need them because they didn't do the combine the year before, and they want to go big at doing this one. And when you look at this draft, JR, man, this is probably one of the better drafts in a long time as far as the talent level that's in it. You don't want to miss no part of that, especially with the talent that came to that Senior Bowl, Doc. So you pull that thing back as quick as you can. But I do agree with what you said there too, because I believe there is some validity to that as well, that the players, they wanted to make sure they covered their own behinds. So if stuff do go down, you won't be able to come back at them and say that it's their fault.
Right. Or that they didn't do enough.
Situation. Yeah, they didn't do enough for the situation. I remember when back during the CBA, players were like, they was kind of mad at the protocols because they were saying they weren't signing it because they didn't believe that the NFL was doing enough to make sure they were safe when all this stuff was going down with the COVID. So this to me kind of another similar situation where they want to make sure this time that if you say something like that, it's on you, not on us.
And that's the thing. Like this is where like when stuff like this pops up, this is where the bureaucratic side, the business side, all that kind of rears its ugly head. Like we would love to just talk about the football side, and only focus on that, but that's not the whole of the situation. Like you have to figure, you have to talk, and we're going to get into it here in a little bit when we start talking about, free agency and roster construction, all this other stuff. Yeah. This is when the business side of it starts to rear up as well, and you have to start taking that stuff into account. That it's more than, this game is more than just playing the game, and there's so much that goes along in it, that, before you ever get to the field,
Right.
But, as far as and we'll put this combine, this aspect of the combine talk to rest, because I know it may not be super interesting for the folks out in the chat room, but you made a great point. The NFL needs these players because they have turned this combine into yet another revenue stream by televising it. Because what you're let's legitimately talk about what a combine is. You're televising an exam.
Yeah,
that's all you're doing. You're televising, a strength and conditioning test, and you're making a spectacle out of it. You're making a spectacle out of it to make money, okay? So the NFL needs these players to be there because they have made promises to these, these cable or these companies that, hey, look, we're going to have X amount of viewers viewing this thing at this time.
Yeah.
So let's get your ad on there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, they had to, but I think all that posturing was about like, all right, we got to make sure that, we can get away with doing what we're going to do without much repercussion,
Right.
So
right. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah.
But as far as the combine goes, I'm looking forward to seeing, like, getting these measurables, getting these numbers, comparing them to what we had at the Senior Bowl. Like, to finally getting some, like, 40 times don't mean everything, but they add to the story. And ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to compile the information to get the story for this player or that player. Whether it's a, Boy Maffa, who has seemingly come out of nowhere, or Trevor Penning, who comes from a small school, does the, numbers back up some of the things that you have seen.
Yeah.
And then you have guys like, Hutchinson and Thibodeau and Evan Neal, these guys that we feel like are at the top of the draft. Like, do they continue to cement themselves as being the top of the draft?
Yep.
This is just yet another set of boxes to check,
Yeah. Now, I would have hated to not be combined, because all those players you mentioned, shoot, us as fans, including the media, want to see all of them in the same room. You already hear the talks about teams want to have their pro days on the same day as other quarterbacks, and people are mad about that because you got Ritter having his pro day the same day as Pickett and all of them guys. So you get the chance to see them all in the same room, man, at the same time. But I tell you what, I know one thing they probably not happy about: the bench press the same day that you're doing your drills and everything, because it was on a separate occasion. So now it's not.
Yeah, some of that stuff's kind of wonky. Like, there's part of me that doesn't understand why the NFL isn't doing everything it can to set these guys up for as much success as possible.
Yeah.
Because you think that would benefit them as much as it would benefit the players. But, it is what it is, And also, you got to think about it like this. And this is going to sound like somewhat, cold-hearted in a sense of me. But part of it also is like, okay, look, guys, how do you deal with adversity?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you deal with, look, when you out there on the field, you got to run after a guy and then bench press him off of you.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you're the athlete, this shouldn't be that big a deal for you.
And I was just getting ready to go there. You took the words out of my mouth. Now, you said exactly where I was getting ready to go, because these teams are probably trying to orchestrate that to see how these guys handle adversity. And then think about it this way. Look at the guys that opted out during this COVID stuff. Now, there was teams talking about they weren't taking a guy that opted out, Miami being one of them, right? Mm-hmm. And they were not taking a guy that opted out of the season. And so you get a chance to see where these players' heads really are, if they can handle doing that stuff. See, some players bench press anyway before they go out and play a game. It's just all about how you get hype and motivated to do what you're going to need to do on game day.
I mean, because like you take the Falcons, for example, the team we love, the team we cover, the reason why we're all in this room at this junction right now. Like, if they'd have had a little bit more adversity, maybe you might not have taken Vic Beasley. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like, had you been able to really suss out what, where his head was at and where his passion was, you might not have taken him in the first round.
Yeah. Well,
but
I don't know if a lot of fans know this or not, but I peeped it. Bud Dupree thought that the Falcons were going to draft him at 8, and they didn't. That's why he had that red velvet jacket he had on that night. I don't know if you remember that, but he kind of looked a little shocked when they chose Vic Beasley and not him, because both of them had interviews with the Falcons that apparently went well. And it would have been interesting to see if Bud Dupree, I was actually rooting for both of them. I wanted Vic Beasley, but another part of me did want Bud Dupree as well.
Bud Dupree was was a name that was out. Like, I ain't even gonna front or lie. That whole draft, that whole particular draft cycle, like, my eyes were locked on Beasley. That's who I wanted.
Yeah.
That's who I thought would come in and be our Von Miller, play that Leo role, in a Dan Quinn defense. You know what I'm saying? Like I just knew that he was going to be that guy, and he was for 1 year, that guy. And you can't. There is no test or metric to judge a man's heart, but maybe if you throw some adversity at him, you can see how he's going to respond a little bit and react. But speaking of Bud Dupree and Vic Beasley, that same draft was Dante Fowler, and
went third overall.
Mr. Dante Fowler, and Mr. Dante Fowler will be now looking for his fourth team in his career. He never did live up to the billing to be the guy here. Yeah. That was the worry about when we signed him was, okay, you just came off your best season. Yeah. Where you were on a line with Aaron Donald, so that was the question is, can you reproduce that? Yeah. Can you be that guy without Aaron Donald? And unfortunately for him, whether it was scheme change, nagging injuries, what have you, he was not that guy here.
Yeah.
Now, when that happened, I saw on my timeline a lot of people like, well, our pass rush room just got worse today. How? I don't understand that. That we just spent all season kind of, tabbing him as Dante Failure. And you know what I'm saying? And then, but you're going to sit here and trot out this concept that our pass rush room just got worse. Well, it
did. It went from 18 sacks to 14 sacks now.
Okay. I mean, we was already at the bottom of the league anyway when it comes to sacks and pressures and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't nowhere to go but up. So, like, I'm not exactly sure, how we can sit here and say it got worse. Because that don't make much sense to me,
Oh man! So if we get 20, that's a big time improvement. 2 more sacks than we had,
man,
in 2022.
We need 22 sacks for 22. That's gonna be my campaign. That's gonna be my campaign this year. 22 for 22, baby. I'm gonna make a graphic and everything. JR. I can already see it. I'm gonna make a graphic. I'm like,
I'll get that beat ready for you.
That's right. I'm like on the hunt for 22. Every time they get a sack, put up 1, 2. Start doing a count up to it. Man. But no, I mean, like, they've got to figure something out, right?
Yeah.
And we've been saying it for years. And there's another concept that talks about. I hear it a lot when I'm in these space chats, and I see it a lot on Twitter and other places that I visit on the interwebs to, just check out and try to get the vibe of the fans and the vibe of the team. Yeah. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, it wouldn't matter if we, get this guy or that guy. We ain't never been able to develop a pass rush. And I get it. I really do. But part of me is like, they talk about like the sins of the father being visited on the son. How long are we like, do we just automatically hang the lack of development on a whole new regime? Like, you got a whole new staff.
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to sit here and try to tell me because Mike Smith couldn't develop a pass rusher that now Arthur Smith can't develop one either?
Now, I'm gonna tell you this because this has been swirling around in my mind for a couple of months now. I can't remember, somebody asked a question about a player. I can't remember exactly what they were saying, but this guy named Lawrence Sidbury came to mind. And I could not understand for the life of me, after this guy got you 4 sacks that 1 year, you cut him the next year.
Yep.
what in the world was the problem there? Because the guy was looking like he could be able to do something for y'all. Now, he didn't do anything anywhere else, granted. And that seemed to be the case with most of these guys that leave from the Atlanta Falcons. We don't draft them or sign them in undrafted free agency. But I could never understand that for the life of me. Why you made a move like that? Because I thought this guy could have done something for you.
Right.
If you kept him around and developed him more.
Well, it's like this past year. If you want to point to that, like if we're drawing comparisons or whatever, you had Jacob Totoe Mariner, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they released him, he was leading the team in sacks. Like, serious, you know? You gonna release your sack leader?
Oh my goodness.
And he couldn't get on the field.
Right.
Now, obviously, there's a lot more that goes on to it. Like, we can only see what goes on the field, right?
Yeah.
Like, maybe, he might have got him 2 or 3 sacks, but if he got sacks while he was supposed to be doing something else,
yeah,
or if he didn't, if they felt like this other guy was doing what they wanted him to do, I think it was James Vaunters at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
if Vaunters, was doing what Pease wanted him to do, like I said, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't.
But still, like, it does. But those kind of moves are what have people scratching their head in year one of a coaching staff.
Yeah.
When you have, Quadre Olison getting, more yards per carry and looked to be more productive every time he got the ball, but yet you keep feeding Mike Davis, who's fumbling like crazy. Now, granted, I'm going to go ahead and call it. That wasn't his MO. And if they do decide to bring Mike Davis back, I don't expect him to be a fumbling machine again.
Yeah.
But that was definitely an issue. But yet you kept trotting him out there. Maybe it was a that's my guy scenario. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
But when we, like are perceived to be questioning the staff, those are the questions that we have.
Yeah.
Like when we say that the coaching staff has made some head scratching decisions already in year one, and they're going to have to show something in year two.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of it. Like, don't nobody come away scot-free.
Yeah.
Like, straight up. Don't nobody come away scot-free. You didn't play Michael Walker nearly as much as I thought you should have.
Yeah.
He was clearly at times, every time he was on the field, he was making plays.
Making plays, yes.
So,
yep.
Like, I've always been told that you get your playmakers on the field.
Yeah.
And they were consistently trotting out Deion Jones. Like, maybe it's the money you were paying him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, like, these are the questions that we have when we say, this coaching staff is making head-scratching decisions in year one.
Yeah, and they're warranted. I mean, what can you say? They are warranted. Now, my question is, I'm thinking Steve Sabo has taken the scapegoat route because they seem to be blaming him as the guy that couldn't bring in the pro personnel. Now Kyle Smith is going to get an opportunity to show what he can actually do. Of course, all this stuff had to be approved by Terry Fontenot, of course. Yeah. But now we'll get to see, can Kyle Smith handle that same similar role he had over there at Washington, where he was able to handle the pro side and the college side at the same time. We'll see where his skills are really at. Is he like his dad, A.J. Smith? We shall find out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Is like, it was something that you brought up in Mobile when me and you were stuck in that broom closet. That garage that I mistakenly booked for us.
Hey, man, it's awesome.
And we were sitting there chatting in that one of them rainy days when we couldn't go watch the practice. Like, the concept that Terry Fontenot was dealing with the leftover information from TD.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really rang huge to me.
Yeah.
So now we're going to see. Like, you've had a year. You've had a full year to put your scouting together.
Mm-hmm.
Your pro personnel department. Like you've had the time now.
Yeah.
You got your cap guy in there. Now it's time to work.
Yeah.
Your year of evaluation is over.
Yeah.
Now it is time to work. Our opening salvo is over. Now it's time to get into the chat. Sorry. All right. So, yeah, like I said, that's kind of like the opening salvo. So we're going to get into the chat here and see what's going on. And I got to ask the question, folks. I don't know if y'all are enjoying the mock draft at the end of these live streams. Let me know if that's something y'all want to do today. If y'all want to do a mock draft before we get out of here, put it down in the chat, yes or no. All right, we're going to start with Ghost Pepper. Ghost Pepper, man, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
He says, what's good, pound for pound, man? It's good. It's a good week. It's Tuesday. We made it through the Monday, and now we just going to keep pushing. Woom Carter says, rise up, pound for pound family. Let's win in 2022. That's right. Iron Mike says, what's up, fellas? What's going on, Mike? William Amy says, I'm just ready for this off season, man. It is getting cranked up, brother.
Yeah.
Bubba Gump says, what's up? What's going on, man? William follows it up with, I don't know why Todd McShay thinking we're getting Drake London from USC. We're going to get into that in a minute. Right now, this top 10 is just wide open. It's anybody's top 10. Something we'll get into here in a minute, but I've seen Trayvon Walker mocked in the fifth pick, rather, which is crazy to me. Yeah. But anyway, so out of your Falcon mind, what's going on, gentlemen? So
what's
evening,
up?
fellas.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, brother? Nick Bangalow says Fowler was released. He says if you re-sign Patterson, don't overuse him like you did in 2021. I agree with that. If you bring back Patterson, I don't want him to be the focal point of the offense.
Yeah.
I think that started wearing down as the season went on.
Yeah, teams caught on to that, and I don't think he will be. I think they will have him a true counterpart. Now, they could bring Davis back. I mean, they signed him to a 2-3 year deal.
I think it was a 2-year deal. 2 year, $5 million.
Yeah, so I mean, he could be given another shot to be back, and they just add to the running back room.
Right. Exactly. Nick also added happy 2/22/22. That's right. Oh, Speed Falcon for life. He says, "What's up? Been a while. What's going on,
What's
Speed?
up?
I'm glad you're back with us, brother." Chris Jameson says, "Give me a second for Ridley. Give me something for Ridley. Better yet, take off that $11 million in cap space for Ridley. That'd be a win right there."
Yes, a win.
Damian Simmons says, I think because the perfect combination would be Trayvon Walker and Devontae Wyatt with our first and second. See, Damon's on that Trayvon Walker in the first round. I just can't get with it, man. I'm sorry. I can't get with Trayvon Walker in the first round. You're betting on a lot of traits there. I see, and I understand what people say they see. I get it.
Yeah.
He's long, he's athletic, he's powerful.
Yeah.
He just does not have the production to go with it. And I don't know if it's just because they were asked him, because Georgia has such a deep line that if they just asked him to do one thing, which was mainly be a run stopper.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if you can justify spending an 8 on a guy like that. Now, if we trade down, like somebody want to come up and get Malik Willis or something like that at 8, and we're sitting in the mid of the first round, then sure, maybe.
Yeah.
But 8 seems a little rich.
Now, I have Trayvon and Devontae Wyatt in the bottom of the late first round. I think that's perfect spots for them. If you ask me, though, I think Devontae Wyatt is a little bit more polished in what he could do for a team than Trayvon Walker, but that's just my thought process on it. I mean, I watch Trayvon, man, and I like Trayvon, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't always show the dominance I'm looking for at a guy 6'5", 270 to dominate a man. Now, twist stunt game got that on lock. Like, he's a killer with that. He's athletic speed to run them twist stunts, had a lot of success with it, and stopping the run, of course. But him at 8, no, dog, I can't see him.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Him at 8, at least right now, seems a little rich off the tape that I have watched. That seems a little high on him. Casey Costa says, I'd be happy with any D tackle combo with our first 2 picks. Yeah, I get that. Like, I think a lot of us feel like defense needs to be hard and heavy
Yeah.
this year. So it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds rather,
Yeah.
or how it transpires, because there's also a case to be made that you need some offensive talent too, like big time. So I've seen a handful of people mocking Burks to us at 8,
Yeah.
which I think that would set the Twitterverse on fire, the Falcons Twitterverse, if we took another offensive skill player at 8.
Well, that would clear up the identity. Like I said, I've been reading this book about the NFL draft and how they work. The team has to have an identity that they have going into the draft. And right now, we still don't know what that identity is for the Atlanta Falcons. We don't know if they really are trying to become a top-notch defensive unit and that be their identity, or if they are trying to go after what they used to be, and that's being an offensive juggernaut. We just don't know yet. And hopefully we'll find out clarity on that in this draft.
Exactly. That's something that we need to start.
And free agency for that
moving towards. Ghost Pepper says our pass rush was so trash, Oscar the Grouch showed up on the sideline because he thought he heard his mating call. Good Lord. Wow. That is rough, Ghost. But that's not inaccurate. It hurts because it's true, Iron Mike says, bro, that's what I was saying when we released him. I think he was talking about Dante Fowler.
Yeah.
Michael Walker says we're going to have more than one when we going to have more than one all-pro defensive player? Hell, a Pro Bowl, all I care. Yeah, I know. It's like you really yeah, definitely. My question is if we do get another solid or above average secondary piece, does Terrell keep ascending?
Yes, I believe so.
I believe he will, but you have that Prince of Mukamara type situation where people just didn't throw at him because there were weaker areas to attack.
Well, one thing I do like about AJ, he wasn't running his mouth like True Font was that year in 2015. Nobody wants to throw at me. Nobody at the Giants game. You remember that Mike Duck. Nobody wants to throw at me. And that next year, and after that, they throwing at him up until ultimately he gets hurt and is out for that Super Bowl run.
Yep. No, you completely. I agree. Yep. Ghost Pepper. I know. Charleston Nash says, "What's happening? God bless. God bless you too, there, Charleston. Y'all could be like Charleston and join our Patreon and get access to only Patreon type stuff, such as film breakdowns and live chats and things like that. But anyway, so shameless plug there. I guess you could say that this episode of Pound for Pound ATL Live is brought to you in part by Charleston Nash.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chris James says there is so much talent that will be available in the second. Yes, please. Give me 3. Yeah. I mean, that's what makes this draft very interesting, is that the talent from top to bottom isn't very far apart. It's some pretty good talent all the way through. There are some pretty deep positions, running back being one of them. The defensive line group, if you include like edge and interior defensive line, if you want to talk about the whole line, that edge group is a pretty good group. Now it's weak at the quarterback position, weaker than it has been, especially in light of last year. Like Mac Jones would probably be your consensus number 1 had he come out this year, him or Fields for sure. He went number 1 overall, no questions asked. But there's still a lot of talent, like straight up and down on offensive line, running back, defensive line. Corner is top heavy. You got 4 or 5 real good guys. So if you wanted to go corner in the first round at 8, you'll probably have a real good shot at it. Either Stingley or Gardner could be sitting there, or Roger McCreary. One of them 3 is definitely going to be sitting there at 8. So, Philip Bonner, P for P, so glad to hear from y'all. Hope y'all are doing well. We are. Yes to the mock draft. Keep them coming. Okay. All right. Well, we'll do a mock here in a little bit. I'll get that set up and we'll get that going. Everybody's saying yes to the mock. Okay. I just wanted to make sure it was something y'all were enjoying. Like me and Toby enjoyed doing it, but you know, if y'all are like, oh well, they're doing the mock, time to turn it off. Time to turn it off. I don't. We want to do what y'all are enjoying. Tony Wright says after trading down. Oh, he has us trading down. First round, Jermaine Johnson. How far did you trade down, Tony? Because I don't think Jermaine Johnson's going to be there outside of the top 12 for sure.
I just don't see it no more.
So I don't know how far you went down. All right, so he says first round, Jermaine Johnson. Second round, Travis Jones. You can probably get him in the second round. Second round, Christian Watson. You're probably going to have to spend you may have to flip those two, Travis Jones and Christian Watson.
It's going to be interesting, Doc.
Well, he must have picked up another one from the trade because he says outside linebacker Arnold Ebika, the kid from Penn State.
Penn State guy.
Yeah, Penn State guy. AE. We're going to pair AO with AE. But, he'd be in there in a second. You might even get him in a third.
Yeah.
But he's a fun guy. He's a guy I enjoyed watching. Floyd says, better D in 2022, better, healthier offense. We're going to see. It starts with that O-line. That's going to tell me all I need to know right there.
Yeah.
And it's going to tell me all I need to know about this offensive or this staff and everything. What you do with that O-line is going to tell me how you've actually, like, where your mindset is at.
Yep.
Mark Turner says, why did we let Foreman go and keep Davis? I made that comment on Twitter. Like, you let Foreman walk out the door, and he went on to, like, be a real good stand-in for Derrick Henry up in Tennessee while Henry was hurt. And he was on your roster and couldn't crack it. That's what we talk about when we say this coaching staff in their first year made some interesting decisions.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just in a laughing mood tonight. I don't know if y'all can tell. I'm in a laughing mood tonight. It's just stuff that makes me laugh. But that definitely makes me laugh because, head scratches like that. Like, you had this guy on your roster, and like you said, we don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes.
Nope.
But, man, that's wild. Okay.
It is very wild. All right, we're going to keep on keeping on. Floyd Donnelly says, the sauce. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll take sauce all day long.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that's your guy.
Yes. Y'all know y'all not. I see him on Friday when he was high. Yes. Yes.
D. Sloan says, what's up, fellas? I hope we get a defensive player at 8, whether it's Jordan Davis or somebody that can make an impact on the defense. Yeah, no, it's going to be like, I think that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Right now, I think your number 8 should be, if Thibodeau, who looks like he's tumbling, if he's sitting there at 8, like initially when we started this process, I didn't even look at Thibodeau.
Yeah.
And that's because I was like, no, he's gone. He's gone. There's no way that Thibodeau's going to be sitting there at 8, so I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah.
And then he starts getting like, people don't know where they're going to have him. I was like, all right, crap, I guess I'm going to have to go back and look at Thibodeau.
Yeah. Yeah, and the conversation's still continuing.
Yeah, and after that, after what I watched, let him fall to 8.
Fall.
Let him fall to 8. I will drive and or fly to Vegas. Bum rush whoever's going to the stage.
Hey.
I will make sure it's Thibodeau at 8.
Hey, what's that commercial when dude got fired on the phone and he flew tackling his boss?
That's
it.
Doc,
I might do a little tackling trip.
Hey, I will make
pound the table.
I will make sure that we get him at 8.
What?
Khalil Hunter in the chat talking about George Karlaftis. Karlaftis is a name that has cooled off.
It's slipping.
But like, if you want an old school power rusher, like Karlaftis brings power in spades, man.
He does.
He is.
But
go ahead.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna tell you a guy that's looking very interesting to me. That Cam Thomas. I'm starting to really, because he puts you in that mind of Paul Kruger.
Yep.
That Dean Pease had over there in Baltimore. And if we're going by those types of traits that Paul possessed, I think Cam Thomas would be a perfect pick. And I got Cam in the third round.
Oh yeah, I think you can get Cam back into the second, early part of the third.
Yeah.
Especially with guys like Karlaftis falling, guys like Boy Mafe coming up.
Yep.
You know, that middle of first to middle of second is starting to get real stacked.
Yeah.
Quint Braun wants to know if we think David Ajobo is elite. He's in that conversation.
Yeah, they talk about him a lot.
Like this, like I've watched a handful of good bit of film on Ajobo, watching him and Hutchinson, and Ajobo is a freak, dude.
Yeah,
like he's an athletic freak who is just now starting to put it together.
And
so like if you're going with Ajobo, you're betting on upside.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep.
And like he possesses the physical, the physical traits to go at 8. For us, if that's the guy that we felt like, he already is trying to figure out a spin move in college, like he's active and going against the run game, like David Ajobo, like, and even with, like, you could say, oh well, he only produced because of Hutchinson. Well, that's not always the case. There were plenty of times that Ajobo was out there by himself and still producing. So, like, Ajobo would be a great pick in the first if that's where you wanted to go. Second round, like I've seen the name Majay Sanders popping up in chat. Majay is, he's a guy I like a lot. The only thing I am concerned about with Majay is he seems like a snap anticipator. Yeah. And the last time I saw like a snap anticipator was like Shane Ray.
Well, I got another guy that's actually been successful at it down further south.
Okay.
And his name is Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett the same way.
Yep.
A snap anticipator. And sometimes he gets called for it. I mean, especially when we played against him. But that's what they do.
Right.
And when they're on, they're on. I mean,
Like if look, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. If Majay gets your snap count down, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because his first step off the line is amazing.
Yeah.
I like Majay Sanders a lot. Like if you go corner or safety, like if Kyle Hamilton's sitting there and you go safety, and Majay is sitting there in a second, I take Majay in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
In an absolute heartbeat.
We need 3 second-round picks, Doc.
Dude, we need 2 first and 2 seconds. What you talking about?
Oh my goodness, bro! Like, but that 2 through 4 to me is really where I want to see Terry Fontenot and his guys get down, because I think you can actually find a legitimate starter in the 4th round that's probably going to slip because of how stacked some of the talent is. He's probably going to slip into the 4th. That's going to be sitting right there waiting on you to snatch him up because he didn't go when anticipated.
Exactly. Like you got the Logan Hall kid out of Houston.
Yeah.
Who is, every bit as good as some of these other interior defensive linemen. And then you got guys like DeMarvin Leal, who are slipping because teams don't know exactly where to play him at. And you put him on the edge and you let him just be a big edge which Dean Pease likes. And like you have a first round talent that you could possibly get in the 2nd round now.
Yeah.
Because teams just aren't sure where he fits, And then, I mean, there's like right now it is such wide open and I love it. And I absolutely love how different everything is going. Brandon Way says, what do you guys think of Hamilton? I'm thinking he's talking about the safety. I was watching him last night. Holy Pete. If we can get Kyle Hamilton, my God.
Boy, yeah.
If he falls to 8, he's another guy, like I'll tackle somebody to get that name. Because the range that man has plus his size is almost it's almost unfair.
Yeah.
So I would absolutely love Kyle Hamilton.
It's funny because when I was reading that book about the draft, right, ironically they mentioned about teams being at that 8th spot, how primed they are to have someone possibly fall to them that probably should have gone a little earlier before they got to them. So It's a possibility it's wide open for us. Somebody falls good to us, but they will not go any further. And if Hamilton manages to fall to number 8, he won't go past 8.
And that's the thing is like you're going to end up with a scenario where you have like there's a possibility where you have like Hamilton, Gardner, and like Thibodeau sitting there at 8. And then if you're Terry Fontenot, it's almost like, what do you do?
My goodness.
You know?
Wow.
Because that would just be insane, you know?
Wow.
All right, let's see.
That would be crazy.
GTA Boy says, what's good, fellas? What's your thoughts on Trey Williams from Arkansas in the 3rd or 4th? That's not a name I'm familiar with. I have to fully admit I'm not familiar with Trey Williams.
Me either, but I'll definitely write him down right then.
I'm about to say I'll put him on a list to go check him out for sure. And if there's somebody that y'all want us to look at, like it's just me and Toby, so you know you just throw it out there and we'll see what we can do. Let's see what else we got here. Archangel is in here tonight. Same thing with Kenny G. Says says yes, I made a pound for pound live show. Awesome, Kenny. I'm glad you were here. Let's see. Josh Gilham. Oh, Josh Gilham. He was our buddy from the draft this past year. He says, I think one of these top 3 offensive tackles and one of Tibbs, Stingley, and Hamilton will be there at 8. Yeah, no, you're going to have a tough decision.
What? Man.
I mean, seriously, like I don't envy them whatsoever because this is going to be a tough decision. All right, let's see. I think it's about time to go ahead and get our mock draft going.
Now, listen, before you start that, JR, I just want to tell everybody, tell your peoples, this is not the time to go to sleep on pound for pound ATL. Just because it's the off season don't mean we taking off. I don't know if y'all realize it or not, but since that coronavirus hit, JR and I have been going year round since then. We have not stopped, and we put videos out all the time. So it's not the time to take a relaxation break because of the off season, because you might miss something.
Yeah, no, exactly. And we're doing everything we can to line up interesting interviews for y'all. Hopefully bringing y'all information that y'all may not be getting anywhere else, or different perspectives and stuff like that. So definitely keep an eye on the channel for sure. On the channel, on the website, poundforpoundatl.com, or p4patl.com, on Twitter. If you ain't already following us, and if you got Twitter, follow us because we all the time interacting and doing stuff on air. So yeah, just keep it locked in because that's what we just trying to bring y'all some good information. Wallace Smith, our good buddy Wallace, says, I have a question for y'all. What if Hamilton, Gardner, Thibodeau, and Stingley are still on the board with the 8th pick? Who do you take?
You want to go first?
For me, it'd be heads or tails over Hamilton or Sauce. Because the theme that I've been pushing all offseason, I'm going to keep pushing, is with Terrell, with Richie Grant, with Jalen Hawkins, you have a chance to really make the secondary a strong point of this defense.
Yeah,
which is what DMPs likes.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can add to that in the form of a Hamilton or in the form of a Sauce Gardner, which allows Dean Pease to mix up his coverages and all that other stuff, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm taking.
Yeah, and I said it before, and I love Kyle Hamilton. Do not get me wrong. I love him, man. He's a very smart, instinctive player, and you can see it all over film. But like I said before, and I will say it again, unless Thibodeau falls there, Sauce is my guy. Mm-hmm. I'm not jumping off of that. Sauce Gardner in that secondary automatically, to me, improves your front. Believe that.
Yeah, exactly. That's yep. Like for me, the idea of forming an elite secondary is almost too hard to pass up at this junction.
Yes.
Like I really feel like you need an elite unit on the field, whether it's offensive, whether it's an elite passing game, an elite running game, an elite blocking game, whether it's defensive, an elite defensive line, linebackers. We thought it was going to be linebackers. That was not the case. Like you need an elite unit, and I think you have an elite player in AJ Terrell.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you add another elite player to that secondary, you can really take it up a notch.
Yes. Yes.
So, all right, without much further ado, see if I do this right. All right, good. Whew. Had it selected to the right screen. All right, here we go.
All right.
We're going to do
Come
6
on, y'all.
rounds. We're using the Draft Network again with their predictive big board. So let's start the draft. All right, let's go get rid of that. Okay, we're on the board, and here we go.
Oh, snap.
We have Ahmad Gardner. We have Jermaine Johnson. We have Travon Walker.
Mm.
And we have David Ajobo.
Oh, wow. I ain't picking it.
So, I mean, obviously it's sauce to me. And I'm pretty sure it's sauce for Toby.
Yes.
So I'm gonna give the chat room a second to see if it's gonna be sauce for the chat room too, because I think that's after the spiel that we just had. Well, ain't nobody. It ain't coming across yet. Ain't nobody saying what's over. Here we go. All right, Archangel did it. He said hot sauce. Here we go.
Sauce.
Now they're rolling in. I'm gonna go ahead and call it now. Y'all can hear it here first. Hot sauce will be his nickname if we draft him. All right, here we go. Drafting hot sauce. Moving on. We have one pick. Kenny G wanted David Ajobo. And that wouldn't have been a bad pick either, but with sauce there.
It wouldn't.
All right, somebody asked, try trading back. Right now in this, with these mocks, I don't do the trades. I just stay where it is because trades are too unpredictable to me. All right, second round pick. Coming in, we got David Bell, your man from Purdue. We got Kenneth Walker III from Michigan State. A lot of people's RB1. We got Kyler Gooden. I don't know too much about Kyler Gooden. But Tariq Woolen is a name I've heard quite a bit about. But if we took Sauce in the first, I don't think we need another cornerback.
It's too early for Tyreek.
Logan Hall, the edge out of Houston that I was talking about. Somebody's wanting Winfrey. Well, Winfrey's name has gotten too big. He was gone.
Yeah.
Christian Watson.
Oh.
Jalen Petrie.
Ooh.
Or we could do some offensive linemen. Shane Ryan from UCLA, or Jameer Slayer from Georgia, or Daniel Falele. Nah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm thinking for me it's either David Bell, Kenneth Walker, or my guy Christian Watson. What do you think? Well, I'm going to let the chat come up.
I'm not saying anything.
King says,
I'm gonna let them.
do you guys think we can deal Ridley and a second and a fifth to the Jets at the 10th spot? Oh, to grab the Jets number 10 pick. That might be interesting. I don't know if
that might be too high.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah, anything's possible. All right.
Yeah.
Tony Wright saying Christian Watson.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of Watson. That's my guy.
Yeah.
So
Watson is it. Because you're probably going to have to use that third pick to get him.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to get him.
Yeah.
Again at later on in the round. All right. Pick number 58, Isaiah Spiller is still there. We could use the second round to really pump up the offense. Isaiah Likely and Trey McBride.
Dang.
My other running back crush, Breece Hall, is there. So if we took Watson at the top of the second, I say we either go. Who else is here now? Do you think we need a linebacker? Because you got that Chad Mumu from Wyoming.
Don't do it.
Ryan Asamoah from Oklahoma.
I like him. It's too early to me for him though too.
Josh Pascal, the edge out of Kentucky.
Oh man, I would take him over the other two defensive guys.
I think so too, because you got Josh Pascal sitting there, and Arnold Ektaba sitting there, which that's kind of like by their rankings, you're starting to get. You might be able to get one of those guys in the third.
Yeah.
So, All right, I got a Brees Hall or Mechie, because John Mechie's there too.
Yeah.
So let's
Wow.
go Brees Hall. Let's go Brees
Okay.
Hall. We'll use the second round as an offensive round, and then we'll try to bolster this defense the rest of the way through.
Boy, you know how many fans will holler if that happened for real.
All right. Here we go. Third round. Damian Clark, linebacker LSU. I don't know if I want another LSU linebacker. All right, now you got Majay Sanders sitting there. You got Drake Jackson out of USC sitting there.
Wow.
And then you got Nick Benito. That's your edge guy.
Oh, man.
I'm thinking I want Majay Sanders, is what I'm thinking.
That's what I'm thinking. But y'all go.
I got Harvey Presley saying Majay Sanders as well. All right, I got a lot of guys. Damon Simmons saying Sanders. I got 2 for Sanders, 1 for Drake Jackson. The next one's going to get it. Next one get it. Jackson or Sanders? Who's got it? Sanders it is. Majay Sanders in the third round. We're gonna get Mr. Snap Anticipator himself. Come down here and anticipate some snaps.
Yeah, man.
I like it. I like it a lot. I like me some Majay Sanders.
Yes, sir.
He jumped off the film with me pretty early on in the process.
Yeah, man. I had a chance to watch him last week. Finally, really sit down and watch him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's in that backfield a lot, man.
He is. Okay, fourth round. We got one of your guys, Leo Chanel, is sitting here. We got JoJo Doman from Nebraska, another linebacker.
Yeah.
Tony Anderson, another linebacker.
Yeah.
Kirby Joseph, safety out of Illinois.
I hear he's climbing.
Jesse Lucetta out of Penn State, linebacker.
Oh, man.
He's sitting there in the fourth. Now, if we want to help out our boy Matt Ryan, Alec Lindstrom is sitting there and then we got Khalil Shakir is there in the fourth.
Man, that's wow.
What y'all thinking, folks? I got Jalen Horton telling me that Kirby Joseph is a ball hawk at safety.
Yeah, he's climbing. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we could add him to that safety room. That might not be a bad.
Yeah, that won't be a bad pick.
Won't be a bad pick there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a second to see if anybody else chimes in because I'm looking at Jesse Lucetta.
Man, I would love to have Jesse. I really would, but hey, y'all.
Talk to me about Leo Chanel.
Leo Chanel?
Yeah, talk to me about Leo Chanel.
Oh man, he's going to get after your QB. That's guaranteed. Now he won't do it as much as Jack Sanborn, his other partner on the other side. But he is good in coverage. He was mostly relied on actual coverage linebacker, and he was pretty good at it too.
Okay.
But this guy definitely get after the quarterback, blitzing packages and all of that stuff, man. But I really love his coverage skills as well, tackling ability. Wisconsin could do it all over there, man. And they played in that creeper style, simulated pressure defense, which we like to run over here, which is why I love those two guys. Right. They are one of my teams that I would take a guy off with the quickness because they really do fit the scheme. And Jalen Petrie, of course, is another guy out of Baylor, the safety, hybrid safety linebacker out of Baylor. Another team where I would love to get some guys off that team. But yeah, Leo Chanel, man. I love Leo Chanel, but I would lean more towards Kirby
Joseph.
Yeah.
All right,
and you get great special teams effort out of him as well.
So, all right, so it's Kirby Joseph or Jesse Lucetta. What do you think?
I'm going Kirby.
You going Kirby?
Yeah, because I think Kirby will give you more. And when you getting guys in those rounds, you want some guys that can really help your special team improve.
I got
it. And Kirby would definitely help out in that area.
Man, come on. I got all these crazy ads popping up. Anyway. All right, Kirby Joseph it is. Bam. All right, now we're getting into the 5th round where it is like special teams and stuff of that nature that's going to pique your interest, or is it a guy who you thought should have went higher, fell, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is where you really start to double dip. All right, so let's revisit our picks real quick. We got Ahmad Gardner, Christian Watson, Breece Hall, Majay Sanders, and Kirby Joseph. So on the board we have Jerome Ford, Sincere McCormick, Hassan Haskins, Zamir White. That should get the chat room going.
Wow.
Let's see. Any other names that really... another all lineman, Cole Strange, the kid out of small town kid out of Chattanooga. Valesis Jones Jr. from Tennessee, who kind of made a name for himself out there at the
Senior Bowl.
At the Senior Bowl. Then you have Lictus Smith, from Virginia Tech. He's still there. And Jalen Woods, the tight end. Those are some of the names that pop out to me.
If I had to choose a guy, I'm going after Lictus Smith out of Virginia Tech, the guard.
Okay.
That's just me.
So Lictus Smith is your pick, an O lineman.
Yeah.
I'm either leaning towards Jalen Woods, the tight end, or Lictus Smith. Because nobody else is really jumping, unless we wanted to double dip at running back. But outside of that, because I would take Jerome Ford in a heartbeat.
Yeah, well, I'm a Hassan Haskins fan.
Yeah, Hassan Haskins is another guy who I think is going to have a much better pro career than college career for sure. And he had a good college career. Trying to give the chat a chance to throw out their picks. They're talking about guys that are already gone. All right, I see Jason Hill says Smith. Interior D-line. There isn't really any interior D-line right now. So let's go Lictus Smith. We'll see if we can't help out the O-line a little bit.
Yeah, we kind of missed the boat on the interior D-line.
Yeah, those were kind of early rounds.
It's not that deep of a class.
No, it's pretty high, pretty top-heavy when it comes to that.
Yeah.
All right, I think this is either our last or second to last. All right, if you want another safety, Yusuf Croker out of Kentucky is on the board. Micah McFadden, your linebacker, is on the board. Still. Bo Melton, we saw him at the Senior Bowl doing special teams, kick returns, and stuff like that. And then wide receiver Justin Ross out of Clemson is a name that I've heard a lot of buzz about here as of late, who might start climbing up the board.
If it was me, I'm going Michael McFadden. I am a fan. And he is another dude that fits our scheme because he also plays in that creeper style simulated pressure defense that we like to run here. Right. And you cannot, this guy here, he can get he sees the action, diagnoses and gets to it quickly and does his thing, man. And he is a great, excellent blitzer and can rush off the edge if you need him to, especially in the twist and stunt game.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with what, and I'm going to pull a curveball here. Jalen Horton is talking about Pierre Strong Jr. Out of South Dakota State.
Okay, yeah.
He's a guy he's a running back who I've been when I've had downtime to watch some games, he's the guy that's really drawn my eye. He showed out real well at the Collegiate Bowl. Or was it the Collegiate Bowl or the East-West Shrine game? I think it was the East-West Shrine game.
It's an East-West Shrine game, I think.
I think it was a Shrine game. So he's a guy who, super good runner. And I think that I'm going to work off the assumption that we are going to just redo this whole room.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Pierre Strong. I know a lot of people are saying Ross, and that may be a name we'll keep for
keep an eye on.
right.
Yeah.
So this week I'm going to go Pierre Strong because he's a guy who's really caught my eye, and I liked him quite a bit. Now let's see here. All right, here's our last pick.
The last one.
All right, last one we got Nick Grant, safety out of Virginia. Jeffrey Gunter, a edge out of Coastal Carolina. Marquise Bell, Marquise Bell, Florida A&M kid. Your safety. Marin Tagovailoa. I wonder if he's related to the other Tagovailoas.
Could be.
And then the kid who gets a lot of you got James Empey, the O lineman.
Oh man, the center out of
BYU.
BYU.
Yep. And then Eric Zucamana or Zuka, the wide receiver out of Texas Tech that gets a lot of late round love. Trying to see if any other names are really jumping out at me. Charleston Rambo, wide receiver out of Miami. Noah Ellis.
Good picks down there.
What's that?
That's some good picks down there.
Yeah, Smoke Monday's still
Take
there.
a chance on, yeah.
Trying to see if there's any other holy crap, that guy's still there kind of name. The Sewell, one of the Sewell brothers, Nephi Sewell, linebacker out of Utah. Oh, man, if I hadn't already taken 2 running backs. Kennedy Brooks out of Oklahoma is still there. Dang.
Yeah. Wow.
Can't be taking that many, though. All right, let's see. Let's see what's available on the interior D-line. Let's just do it that way. I don't know any of these names. Noah Ellis out of Idaho. Christopher Hinton out of Michigan. Tyrone Truesday out of Florida. No, ain't none of these really jumping out at me.
Maybe they know him. I don't know him.
No, I don't either.
I don't know. I know a lot of those other names, though.
Yeah.
But
all right, I think I'm going to go with, you seem pretty high on Marquise Bell, the safety out of Florida.
He's definitely worth taking a chance.
Well, we already picked up one safety at Kirby.
Yeah, we
Joseph.
did.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's go James Empey, another interior O-line guy.
He's pretty good. He's a center.
Or should we do the wide receiver because we need help there? All right, chat room, wide receiver or O-line?
Charles Rambo or James Empey, the center.
Yeah. You got wide receiver or O-line. What y'all got? Let's see. Josh Gillum says, is McCall from Kentucky on the board? What does he play? What position does he play? Because I can look and see if he's on the board. Hold on, I can type his name in. McCall. Nope. He is not on the board. All right. I'm getting a lot of wide receiver. So let's just go with, man, this website's killing me. Where did he go? There he is. And the Texas Tech kid is who I'm looking for. There he is. Eric from the Texas Tech. There we go. Bam. And I think that's going to conclude. That does conclude our draft. This week, we ended up with Ahmad Gardner. We brought hot sauce to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
We got Christian Watson. Probably reached on him a little bit. But I think in the second, where he's going to go. Breece Hall. So in the second round, we really, really bolstered that offensive side. Yeah. Followed it up with Majay Sanders, who I think was a steal in the third round.
Yeah.
And then Kirby Joseph, the playmaking safety out of Illinois. Yep. Lucas Smith, the O-lineman from Virginia Tech. Pierre Strong Jr., small school kid. And we rounded out with 2 smaller schools. Pierre Strong and Eric Azuman. I don't know how to say his last name.
Wow.
So
I like that draft.
Yeah, it was a good draft. I thought that was I thought that worked out real well for us. Charleston Nash says the Tagovailoa guy is to his brother. Just for information wise, not that I want him for the Falcons. Yeah, no, that's cool. I figure, with a name like Tagovailoa, you kind of have to be, right? But if we could come away with that kind of a draft, That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be real nice. You know, you get you a playmaker in the first round, you know, another shutdown corner to add to AJ Terrell.
Yeah.
And then, you know, one of my two towers, like you could bring my dream of the two towers to Atlanta with, you know, 6'5" Christian Watson and 6'7" or whatever, 6'7"?
6'6".
6'6".
Yeah.
6'6" Pitts. I mean, that'd be a nice pairing out there for whoever's throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Well, my guy, we have bumped up well over an hour, which is, you know, tends to be our cutting off point. Somebody was asking me what pick did Wyatt go. Let's see if I can figure that out real quick. Anything you want to pick, you know, look at or speak on real quick while I look for Devontae Wyatt?
Oh man, you know, I'm good, man. I think
Devontae
the
Wyatt,
bucket, as they like to say.
he went to the Dallas Cowboys with the 24th pick.
And that's about where I have down at that round in the first round.
Yep.
Round in here. Yeah.
Well, cool. I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. We covered what there was to cover. We did our mock draft, which I enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
I'm glad y'all enjoyed doing it. Yeah, like I said, I'm glad that y'all enjoyed it. Sorry, somebody just mentioned me because I was griping about Game Pass, and I think it was this spoof account that acts like it's Game Pass. Anyway, sorry, that was funny. So, like I said, keep your eye on the site. We will be doing more things. Like I said, we're going to be talking to Ian Cummings. That'll be up either Friday or Saturday. And then, yeah, so just keep your eyes peeled on the site, on the channel, on Twitter. Just, you know, keep them drones following us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And as always, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Grim1128, GRIMM1128. Toby?
Toby D 1991.
And I am with Josh. I wish the draft wasn't so far away. I am with you there. But we got free agency to keep us entertained in the next few weeks. So keep your eyes peeled on that. And as always, Falcons fans, let's just win, man.
Just win.
All right. Peace, guys.